Hello, my name is Tom Palmer and I am a children's author. I am the author of books such as the Football Academy series, which is about a football academy, and the Foul Play series, which is sort of a crime series about a boy and a girl who solve football crimes. And it's set in Leeds. If you read them, you'll see all the sort of Leedsness in them. And I've also written a book for adults called If You're Proud to Be a Leeds Fan, which I am. But I'm not here to talk about Leeds United. I want to talk about reading and how I got into reading, because I didn't enjoy reading when I was young, and my mum was really worried about me. The only thing I'd really talked to her about was Leeds United, and she decided she was going to use football to get me into reading, so she would buy me, we would start to get the Yorkshire Evening Post delivered, and she'd read me small bits about Leeds matches, and then she'd leave bits for me to read. She'd get me magazines like Shoot and Match, and then she'd get me books as well. There was a book called, and this is a book that sort of helped change my life, Leeds United, the official history of the club, and it's full of black and white photographs of glory days, although there are some colour glory days to be seen as well. And she got me reading through my hobby, and that is my belief now when I go around schools and when I write books, is that you couldn't have got me into reading by saying you must read, it's really good for you, it'll help you at school. For me it was about getting people reading about things that they're interested in, children in particular, and that's how I got into reading, and that's what I try to do going around schools. Once I got into reading, with books like this, I became very wanting to find more books, and I used to go to Leeds libraries, and Leeds libraries changed my life in loads of ways, giving me free books to read, giving me access to other things to read which I needed at other times in my life. And if it wasn't for the library and all the free books I was able to get, as I got more and more confident, I started reading stuff like poetry and stuff like that. As I became more confident as a reader, libraries were brilliant for me. But I wasn't. One of the big things, the problem for me was I was scared to go into libraries and bookshops, because I didn't think I belonged there. Libraries, I used to go into, not the local library in Oakwood, but I used to go to Leeds Central Library at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, because I knew there'd be no one barely there, and I'd be able to get in and out and borrow the things without anyone identifying me as not the right sort of person who should have been in there. And it was the same in bookshops. I wouldn't go to Waterstones. I went to W.H. Smith's, because if anyone sort of said, "Why are you in here?" I could say, "Oh, I've come for a magazine," and I had those weird sort of fears. And I know I talk to children now and they don't think those sorts of places are for them. However, I overcame all that, and my big message when I talk to children as well is, by going to libraries and reading and reading for pleasure and enjoying reading, it's not about doing well at school. It was about, for me, my horizons and my ambitions. When children ask me now, "What did you want to be when you grew up?" I say I didn't want to be anything, because I didn't have any dreams or ambitions, and the ambitions that I have now are because I read books. Once I started reading books for pleasure, I wanted to travel to different places, I wanted to meet people, I wanted to be different kinds of things, and it was the books that I read, all these books that are behind me, that I treasure. I'll show you them higher up. All these books here, that I've read over my life, and have given me ambitions, and have also given me happiness. I did go on to do a degree, and that was all part of making my life a happier life. But that's what I always like to say. It's not just about learning and doing well at school. It's, as you know, I don't need to tell you that. It's the bigger picture. It's the whole child. Anyway, I would love to be, and I've been very proud to have been asked to be, a sort of reading champion for Leeds. I'd love to help and get involved in developing ways for helping children to get into reading through sport or not through sport. Because the one thing that I remember, when if someone had given me a book like this, about football, you know, set in Leeds, you would think it would appeal to me as a I don't know, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old boy, but it wouldn't have, because I'd have looked at that and I'd have felt this chilling fear running through my veins that I was going to fail. I was going to get to about page, I don't know, about page 8 or 9, and then I was going to run out of stamina, and I was going to fail, and so there was no point in me reading it. What was the point? And that's why my mum, using Leeds United and short articles in newspapers, slightly longer articles in magazines, and then non-fiction with lots of photographs like this of the glory days, that's what got me into reading. That's what made me confident. So I got to the point where I could read books like this, and I also had this other thing that I used to do, where I used to, every 10 pages I used to give myself a little cheer like I was in the Cop, and every 100 pages I was a bigger cheer, and I kind of sometimes still do that actually. Anyway, so I'm trying to express that I didn't enjoy reading, and I got into reading through my hobby, and as reading champion for Leeds, I'd like to try and help lots more children do that as well, based on my experience and based on my passion for engaging children with reading about what they're interested in. Anyway, I've gone on too long, so I'll stop now, but enjoy the rest of your conference, and thank you very much for listening to me.